Many Africans are narcissists. They just don't know. In this video, I only want to focus on Africans, especially Nigerians, because I am from Nigeria as well. So I want to limit my conversation in this video to Nigerians. And I believe that whatever applies to Nigerians, in many cases, applies to many other African countries. Many of them, maybe not all of them. Again, many Africans are narcissists. Not all, but many. But they just don't know it. What is a narcissist? If you ask a typical African person, what is a narcissist? I don't know how many would know the real meaning of a narcissist. It took me some time last year. I studied these words very well. I followed a professor that is a master in diagnosing this kind of problem. It's a mental problem. It's a medical issue. Most of the time, a narcissist doesn't know that he or she is a narcissist. So what is the definition of a narcissist? According to the dictionary, one of the several types of personality disorder is a mental condition in which people have an inflated sense of their own importance, a deep need for excessive attention and administration, troubled relationship, and lack of empathy for others. I want to show us that many Africans are narcissists. We just don't know. It's a very serious mental condition to have. There are four different areas I want to talk about. How you can identify and know that many Africans are narcissists. Many of us, we just don't know. Four areas, four things they do are this. Number one, a narcissist will try to control your behavior. That's number one. And I will come back to it, how they do it. Number two, a narcissist will try to control the information coming to you. There's a reason why they do that. I will explain. Number three, a narcissist will want to control your thought, what you are thinking. They don't want you to use your own mind. Rather, they want you to think like them. Number four, they want to control your emotion. All these four things, behavior, information, thought, and emotion, all these four things exist within a lot of our African leaders. So I'm going to be using my own experience coming out from a church. Many African churches in America, I've attended a lot of them. And I know what applies to African churches in America. They probably brought that mentality from Africa. Of course, maybe not all of them, but many of them. I'm not going to be giving a solution. I'm not a doctor. I only want to help you to identify a narcissist. And you will know that you are either a narcissist or your leader, your pastor is a narcissist, because 7 out of Africans go to church. Right? We do. Many of us are born in church and we grew up in church. There's nothing wrong in going to church. I go to church too. I'm a son of a preacher as well. So I know many of these things. But we have serious issues because that's where many of us belong, in the church. Before you come up with a solution, you have to talk about the problem. You have to know a problem exists. Narcissistic behavior exists in our church. Mostly African churches. You remember when I said a narcissist will try to control your behavior? How do they do it? Let me give you an example. In the beginning of the year, The leader of the church or the pastor will call you. They will give you the plan for the whole year, the church plan for the whole year, without your own plan. They don't want you to have your own plan. They are already telling you what you are going to be doing for them for the whole year, from January to December. There's no time for your own family or for yourself. It's about them first. They are controlling your behavior. Another way they also do that is, have you seen some of these African pastors that want their church members to live closer to them? This is what I've experienced. I'm telling you my own experience. The pastor wants the church member to actually move to his own neighborhood, to rent an apartment in his neighborhood, to rent a house, to buy a house in his neighborhood. He's trying to control their behavior. I've seen so many instances where the pastor of the church asks the church member for their checkbooks, for their bank checkbooks. Why? He wants to manage their account for them. He wants to control their behavior. I don't have a dog, but I know one thing about dogs. If you go on the street and you start playing with somebody else's dog, if the owner allows you to give that dog a treat, the dog will start listening to you. If you tell the dog to sit down, the dog will sit down. If you tell the dog to look at you, the dog will look at you. And it's not even your dog. It's because of the treat that you gave him or her. Now, you have power to control that dog a little bit for some time. The same way I see that our leaders, Africans, control their own people. These kind of leaders are narcissists. They just don't know they are narcissists. Anybody that is trying to control your behavior systematically without you knowing is a narcissist. It's a mental issue. It's a mental problem. Now, let's talk about how our spiritual leaders that are narcissists, that we don't know they are narcissists. Let's talk about how they use information to try to control people, our home people, in churches, or actually in many places, honestly. But in this case, based on my own experience, I'm talking from churches. Watch this video. So I'm going to fast the video because we don't need to be watching the whole thing. They are on the street singing and dancing for Donald Trump to win. Look at all these innocent people. Somebody told them to go and do it. You know who told them? Their leaders, their pastor. He used the power of information that God told me to tell you. Usually that's how they say it. God told me to tell you to go and do this on the street. The leader that told them to go and do such thing is a narcissist. But he just doesn't know he's a narcissist. It's a mental disorder problem. It's a medical issue that he doesn't know. A complete narcissist using the power of information. All these people you are looking at in this video, they are misinformed by their leaders. Misinformation. You see what's happening in America now? Every day, many people are misinformed. Largely, many Trump supporters. One thing I notice is many of my friends that are Trump supporters, all of them are narcissists. All of them. I have not met one single of my friends that are Trump supporters that is not a narcissist. I'm sure there are some that are not narcissists. I'm saying for me, I have not met one. And in this case, I'm talking about Africans. Because I have other people that are white and Mexicans and Asians that are also Trump supporters. They are all narcissists. But in this video, again, I'm focusing on Africans. Every single Trump supporter that I know is a narcissist. A narcissist cannot see their own problem. They see you as the problem, as their problem. And there are some things you don't want to get involved with a narcissist. One of the things is, don't try to argue with a narcissist. Don't try to pick a fight with a narcissist. You know what they say? Don't get into a fight with a pig, because both of you will get muddy. But the pig likes that. If you get into fight with a narcissist, you will get muddy. You cannot win. Every single of my Trump supporters, friend, oh my God, they bombard you with information. Last year alone, I received over 1,000 videos, documentaries. They try to prove themselves right. A narcissist always try to prove him or herself right. Trump supporters, the reason they were sending me all this information is because they are imbalanced mentally. Sometimes I'll be asking myself, do they even watch the video they are sending out? Because some of the videos are blurry. Sometimes you will see somebody with only one face. I mean, some of the videos you can't even watch, but they will send it to you anyway. Why? They are trying to prove something. They are trying to show their weakness. They are narcissists, but they just don't know. They are trying to prove you wrong and prove themselves right. It's a mental problem. Many Africans are narcissists. They just don't know. I don't know about you. Do you have any friends that is a core Trump supporters? How do they send you information? You remember, that's one of the things a narcissist will do. They will try to use the power of information to manipulate you. And the reason they are doing that is because they are narcissists, but they just don't know. Many Africans are narcissists. Let's talk about the third thing that a narcissist will try to do. They will try to change your thinking, your thought. Many African leaders, based on my own experience again, they want you to think like them. Even when you know they are doing something wrong, they want you to ignore their behavior, their character. Just think and do what they do. I always mention something in many of my videos. Thinking constructively and actively is not easy. It's a skill to be able to think correctly. It's a skill. Many of us just do passive thinking, meaning that we don't have to think at all before we say something or do something. But to do things correctly, most of the time requires some thinking. And thinking itself is work. It's a skill. Many Africans, in my very humble way, since this video is geared towards Africans, many Africans, we are lazy when it comes to thinking. We don't want to think. We want other people to think for us. That's why our leaders, because of their narcissistic behavior, they try to change your thinking to their own thinking when we know that their thinking is wrong. I've heard some of my friends that are Trump supporters told me, Rotimi, you should be thinking like us. And they've called me names too. I'm very honest with you. Life goes on. That's what Tupac says. Many of my friend Trump supporters, Africans, are narcissists. They've said some things to me that are unbelievable. But I back up because I know them. You see, when you can recognize a narcissist, you can put them in the position they belong. I think I'm getting to a level where I recognize when somebody is a narcissist. Back off. Leave them alone. Yeah, don't try to fight with a narcissist because it's a mental problem they don't know. You know that crazy people don't know they are crazy. The day that a crazy person knows that he or she is crazy is the beginning of his or her healing. Narcissists don't know they are narcissists. Many Africans are narcissists, but they just don't know. I know friends, I have some of my friends that will be telling me some things about their African church. And if you ask them, why are you still going there? There's no clue. But I know why they are going there. Their leader, who is a narcissist, has used the power of behavior, information, and now thought to capture them. Every single dictators in the whole world operate like that. They know how to use your behavior to get you, how to use the power of information to get you, and how to manipulate your thinking. Because as a man thinketh, so is he. If they can change your thinking to the way they think, case closed. You remember this place called Waco in Texas? I don't know the full story. Waco, this guy that killed all his church members, or they commit suicide, and what do you think he did? What do you think that was? The guy was a narcissist and used that power of thought to change all his members' thinking to his own thinking. Have you noticed that many of these terrorists, when they hijack plane, and they speak the same language. I'm not talking about a language of one country, but they are all in one accord. They see the same way. And usually, they are reciting what their leader told them to do. They are reciting what their leader have told them that they have to do. They have to do this, they have to do that, they have to hijack the plane, they have to do this, they have to die, they have to commit suicide, they have to kill people. They are just following the power of thought that somebody, a narcissist, have used on them. Many Africans are narcissists. They just don't know. The last thing, which is the number 4, that a narcissist will try to do to you is this. A narcissist will try to control your emotion. Emotion is not a solution. We don't seek for solution in African churches. I'm talking about based on my own experience in this California, in America. No, we don't seek for solution. They know how to tap into your emotion and use that to control you. Many African pastors are narcissists. They are arrogant and stubborn. That's another sign of a narcissist. The way they talk to their congregation is a narcissistic behavior they always display. Watch this video.
Can I give you another prophecy? Can I give you another prophecy? Are you sure you want to hear it? Are you sure you want to hear it? Listen, say, I want to hear. I want to hear. Listen to me. Are you hearing me now? Listen to me. If care is not taken and the prayer is not made, listen to me. This prophecy has 2 ways. If proper care is taken and prayer is made and the person involved repent, it will not happen. But if it doesn't repent, I see a politician in America, because of Donald Trump, commit suicide. I see a politician in America, because of Donald Trump, commit suicide. Hello?
2020. No change. Trump will sit on America's seat again.
This guy is not trying to provide them any solution. He's just tapping into their emotion to control them, to make them sit in front of him standing in front of them as God, and lie to them all the time. He's doing nothing here but tapping into these innocent people's emotion. This is how they've destroyed us Africans, our leaders. This guy right here is a narcissist. He just doesn't know. The congregation many of the congregation members doesn't even know. Many of them never heard the word narcissistic or narcissism. Yeah, right? word before. A narcissist knows how to tap into your emotion. And from there, they control you. Because we Africans, we respect our leaders. When we are giving this respect, the bad ones, who is a narcissist that don't know, they use that to tap into our emotion and control us and manipulate us. Watch another video.
I can't vote for any Democrats because they are left. My faith will not allow me to do that. They are anti-life. I always want life. I don't want babies to be killed. I love the way my president talked about Jesus last night. That blew my mind, and I was weeping like a baby when he said Jesus Christ is the boss.
What he just said, I cannot vote for a Democrat because they are left. He didn't come up with that phrase. His leader of the church told him, who happens to be a narcissist. Everything he's doing there is based on emotion. His pastor have tapped into his emotion to control him. Many Africans leaders are narcissists. They just don't know. A narcissistic behavior is a mental issue. I don't have a solution for it. They need to seek for professional help. But I want to show you how to recognize many of these things that they are doing to us. Maybe you can set yourself free. Maybe you can set somebody else free. Maybe you can set other people free. Maybe you can start asking questions. Question your leaders. Question your own behavior. Let me summarize what a narcissist will do. 4 things they try to do. They try to control your behavior. Number 2, they try to control the information coming to you. Because if they can control that information, they can use it to manipulate you. They can use that information to get you do things that you wouldn't have done if you have spent time and think for yourself. Number 3, they try to control your thought. Number 4, they try to control your emotion. Many African leaders that I've came across with display every single one of these characteristics. That means they are narcissists. Many Africans are narcissists. They just don't know.